What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Today we're going to talk... Let me fix this fucking camera angle. There we go. Today we're going to talk about training to the pain barrier and slightly past it, and training to failure, which are two completely different things. So you got people going, well, I trained to failure, I did that whole thing, it didn't work. No, really you didn't. You trained to the pain barrier where it hurt, maybe slightly past, but you didn't train to failure. When you're training to failure, about halfway through the set, you are in extreme pain. Okay, extreme pain. Maybe even a quarter of the way through the set, you are in extreme pain. And it's to the point where somebody has like a match or a lighter holding a flame to that body part. It hurts so bad. And the pain won't increase. It'll just stay the same, but it wears on you, it pulls you down, it draws your energy. You have to find it in you to go past that, to keep going past that. And what you'll notice is the range of motion will get shorter and shorter with the muscle. As more and more fibers fire, they'll start to fatigue and not be able to fire, and you won't be able to move at some point. Now, that point when you're not moving, that's failure. That's not the pain barrier. That's so far past the pain barrier, it's another state. Okay? And, you know, many people have, you know, tried to quote-unquote train to failure and not been able to achieve it. It is definitely a mental struggle or a mental strength to get there. And for years, I thought, you know, I could do it. I tried Dorian Yates' training. It didn't work that well for me because in my head, I was training to failure, but I actually wasn't. I was training to the pain barrier and slightly past it. Until I did a workout with Kevin Levrone one day. I think it was legs. I don't know if it was legs or chest. Anyways, we were doing sets to failure, and Kevin was there talking. He's like, you need to go further, farther, farther, push, more, more, more. And we weren't even counting reps. And he kept saying, you need to go further. You need to go further. More, more, more. You know, training. Now, I'm already past the pain barrier now, and I'm in such pain. And all of a sudden, the weight stops moving full range, and it's starting to move less. And now I feel the weight going down and not being able to come back up, and boom, the set was done. So I'm like sitting there on the bench, and I was all fucked up, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, I was like seeing spots, and like, it was like, you know, you felt like you were going to pass out or throw up or die or whatever the fuck was going to happen. And he said, to get to that point, you need to be willing to be very uncomfortable. You need to be willing to go farther than you ever thought you could go. And then when you get that far, you need to go further. You know, it's in every person to do it. Just how bad can you make yourself hurt? Because eventually the muscle will stop moving. And I said, okay, this is like a whole nother level of shit. And great. You know, I thought I was all advanced and shit. And this is a whole nother ball game. And I also trained this guy named Ken. Now, Ken, I've been training for a while. Ken has a condition that, I forgot what the name of it is. We figured it out a few years ago. I've been training Ken for quite a few years now. And he has this condition where there's not much lactic acid buildup. And there's no warning signs to when he's going to fail. He doesn't feel that pain. So he'll be training, you know, and you're like, all right, Ken, 3 more. And he goes, boom, and it just fails. It's the most bizarre thing. But you can actually see complete muscular failure for what it's worth and with no pain. So now, you know, you may think he's got 5 reps left in him, and he fails on the next rep. But it's complete failure. But there was no signs, there was no pain, there was no lactic acid buildup, nothing like that. It just fails. So that's when you can really step back and see that's what it looks like to fail, and that's what it looks like to be in the pain barrier. 2 different things. So be aware if you're trying to train to failure, it's going to take you a good, it took me probably a year of training under Phil's tutelage to be able to actually get to pushing myself to absolute failure. I was getting probably 80% to failure, you know, to what I perceived as failure, until I kept, you know, going and going. And, you know, one day you just have this breakthrough where you push yourself so far, and all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, I didn't know I could do that. Well, now that I know I can do that, I need to do that every time. And you chase that. You chase that feeling. You chase that, you know, that muscular contraction until it stops. You chase that pain. You chase all that, and now you did it again. You're like, well, if I did it again, I could do it all the time. And you chase it consistently all the time during your workouts. And as long as you're chasing that and you know you can do it, you can get there. And if you're getting there and you're following the right protocol and you're recovering, you're going to grow, and you're going to grow fast. That's how it works. You know, people used to say, you know, Kevin would train for a few months out of the year, and he would grow into a show and do all these things. And, oh, it's because of drugs. Man, all these fucking guys are on drugs. All these guys are fucking training hard. All these guys are eating fucking tons of protein. They're all doing the same fucking shit. There's nothing exotic or different about what Kevin took or did than anyone else. But if you train with him, you'll see the intensity is different. Dorian Yates actually went on record, and this is a story, this is a little story time for you guys that Kevin told us. He went to one of the shows out in Europe, in, I don't remember, maybe it was the English Grand Prix, it must have been the English Grand Prix. And him and Dorian trained together. Dorian shut down the Temple Gym one morning, which he usually did when he trained, and him and Kevin trained back. And he went exercise for exercise, failure for failure. He went pound for pound with the best in the world and kept up with him. And Dorian said, you know, when you asked him, who do you respect the most? He'll tell you flat out, I respect Kevin Levrone the most for his work ethic and his intensity. Because he was the only one at the time who could keep up with Dorian. And Dorian is known for being the most intense fucker out there, period. He was doing shit that was so intense that it made Mike Mentzer want to throw up. And he was crazy in his day. You know, so it was like, that was the big thing, you know, that made Kevin able to do the things that he did. He's intense about everything. You know, he's able to push himself farther on any life endeavor to get better at it. So, you know, now we're getting a little off track, but you see how you can apply, if you can push yourself to be uncomfortable during a set, you can push yourself uncomfortable in a job situation to where you might be able to do more or something better than someone else because you're able to take that uncomfortableness further than they can. See, there's all kinds of life lessons in bodybuilding shit that, you know, seem to come through. But we'll stick with, for now, training to the pain zone and training to failure. Those are the differences. I hope I explained this so that you guys can understand it, because unless you've experienced it, it's very difficult to understand that you're not going to failure or you are. Bios3training@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.bios3training.com is the blog, and we're the high intensity failure bicep, and we're out.